What's okay to steal? Digital goods that are no longer sold or distributed by any other means other than piracy. I'm looking at you, Nintendo. I see you. One time Amazon sent me 2 of the same product, but I only paid for and needed 1, so I sent the extra back and got the refund. I like to think I stole from Amazon that day. The ducks at the lake. They're free. I have 28 ducks. I thought somebody said earlier that they're not free. Hang on. Adobe products.
Yes, this is the answer. This is the correct answer.
Wi-Fi from the Jack-in-the-Box by my house. Living over a decade in Japan, I've come to the conclusion that umbrellas are fair game. Hey everybody, and welcome back to Ask EmKay. My name's Brandon, and let's stop wasting time. Let's read some questions. What's the dumbest mistake you've seen an incompetent coworker make? When I worked construction, there was a guy who showed up with nothing in his tool belt except a small bag of peanuts in one pocket. He didn't stay around too long. That sounds like a prepared man to me. Shut down a critical file server, then lied about it, even after he was presented with the logs that showed it was his user account that initiated the shutdown. It's not so much the mistake that he made, but it was when he lied about making the mistake. That was a rookie move. Tried to retrieve his lighter from a deep fat fryer with his hand. Boy, was that fun to clean up. I used to work for a landscaping company, and over the course of a summer, I witnessed one of my coworkers accidentally set 3 different things on fire: a hedge trimmer, a truck, and himself. Took the wrong coffin to a funeral. Someone else had to drive to the cemetery with the correct deceased on board, and thankfully they made it before the viewing. Ooh, that is a big blunder, buddy. Oh god. As you get older, what's something that becomes increasingly annoying? Being tired all the time. Yep, I feel that one for sure. Dental issues. This one I thought I could ignore, but I do have 8 cavities. Loud, dark restaurants. Can't hear the server or my friends, and can't read the menu without my phone flashlight. People lying for no reason. That one's annoying at every age. I think we can all agree on that one. My inability to fall asleep. I feel that one. I feel that one a lot. What ruins a movie instantly? Background actors in fight/war scenes waiting for their turn to attack the main character. When the trailer reveals the entire story. That's definitely happened to me. I can't remember what movie though, because it wasn't a good movie. When they repeat the same sentence 2 to 3 to 10 times in the story for no reason, just to have a kind of motto. Breaking the rules they set. I'm okay with this in horror movies because those rules are funky and who cares, honestly. Whispered dialogue, ear-shattering action sequences. I'm looking at you, Nolan. You know what you've done. What is a clear sign of you getting older? 40 is a weird age. Everyone older says you're so young. Everyone younger thinks you're so old. When they tear down a building that you remember getting built. Oof, that one's gotta hurt. When you've seen multiple decades of fashion trends come back into play with the young crowd. I used to sneak out of home to go to parties. Now I sneak out of parties to go home. Hair growing in places where hair shouldn't be. What is something every junk drawer must have in order to be considered a proper junk drawer? Old toys, pennies, packets of seeds, long-lost tools. Pencils with the erasers all gone that can't be sharpened without shattering the lead. That seems very specific. Random chargers. What's that to? No one knows, but we just save it in case we might need it again. In some places, you would be considered a hoarder for that mentality. The thing that prevents you from closing the drawer. Even worse, the thing that prevents you from opening the drawer. Keys for unknown locks. I've had a few of those, but then ultimately they disappear. I don't know who has them. Where'd the key goblin take my keys? What survival myth is completely wrong and can get you killed? The ducks at the park are not for free. You will go to jail. Running in a zigzag to outrun an alligator. Alligators don't run for long distances, so this will probably just waste your energy. They can also climb some fences and trees as well. Oh, it's scary hearing that these creepy dinosaurs can climb walls. If you're in a tornado, open all your windows to equalize the pressure inside to match the outside. If you're in a tornado, opening any window or door will create a wind tunnel that rips your entire roof off. That moss grows on the north side of a tree. It can grow all over the tree, so it's not a steadfast rule that you should make important decisions solely on. Follow flying birds to find water. They can simply be flying to spend a night anywhere. there, so we can't rely on them. And don't trust birds in general. I don't know what they're thinking. If Paris is the city of love, then what's the city of hate? Noventa di Piave, near Venice. It is said that people there plant beans with shotguns. In fact, the locals call the town Noventa Violenta, which translates into violent Noventa. Go on, say it. I said it wrong. Go on, tell me. It's Paris. I work in a 4-star hotel there. Trust me, my hatred alone is enough. Philadelphia. I don't know why, but this just feels like the right answer based on experiences there. Ironton, Missouri. They have KKK meetings at the park on the weekends. I'm sorry, Missouri, but the facts keep stacking against you. I'm not gonna visit. Dallas, Texas used to be nicknamed the city of hate in reference to the assassination of JFK. What is something common that has never happened to you? Never met a stray kitten that was begging for me to take it home. All of the strays I see are on their way somewhere important. I've never fainted. Well, good for you. I've never met any of these hot single women in my area that seem so abundant. Never had to go to the hospital. All right, no need to brag, Mr. Healthy Forever. I've never seen the ocean. I might be jaded because I grew up in California, but it's gross and icky and bleh. What's an unspoken rule that annoys you when people don't know about it? When your motorcycle is 160 decibels, maybe don't drive around the same block 35 times per day. Don't block the footpaths. If you're waiting for something, move off it to the side. We're not obligated to walk around you because you have an ego. Let people know when you have them on speakerphone, especially when your husband, wife, partner, friend, any other human is within earshot. If someone says they're not drinking tonight, don't make them feel bad or imply they're being boring. Pointing out awkward situations. If it wasn't awkward before, it now definitely is. What's legal, but if you do it, you still look like a psychopath? Asking an old person to give up their seat on a bus. Going to Starbucks and ordering a milk with ice. What? Huh? Wearing the skin of a roast chicken like a mask. Using both hands to put on chapstick. Who does this? If you do this, knock it off. I don't know. Pulling your pants/underwear all the way down to pee at a men's urinal. Yeah, after like the age of like 6, if you do that, I'm sorry. There's no help anymore. Wearing a wedding gown to someone else's wedding. Eating in public without using your hands at all. Not entirely sure of how that works, but don't do that regardless, I guess. What is an addiction society pretends is a necessity? Being busy. Yeah, if you're one of those grind until I die, baby kind of people, I'm sorry, I'm not a fan. Shopping. This addiction is actually a medically recognized addiction with its own name. Oniomania. Being on social media. It's not entirely your fault. Social media is literally designed to be as addictive as crack. Unlimited growth. I can only guess this is about billionaires, because knock it off. Please, for the love of God, stop. Nicotine. I feel like I am one of the very few blue-collar workers who does not use it. I don't think nicotine is argued as a necessity. That's one of the bigger contention points in like the big tobacco war. What's something you look forward to every single day? For me, it's getting up and looking at my cute little doggy, even though he sometimes eats trash and it makes me mad. Getting home from work. I really enjoy that whole not at work time. Eating. I'll agree on this one. Breakfast is the only thing to look forward to. Getting home from work followed by the relief of not having to work from that point on. Sleeping. You wake up to go back to sleep. Yeah, I get it. Scratch his head. Do you look forward to doing that? I don't get it. What's something you find weird that is 100% normal? The fact humans drink other animals' milk. Like, that liquid isn't for us. People find the thought of drinking human milk gross, but it's especially formulated for us. It's something that should be consumed for nutrients when we're babies, not a regular drink. Cheering in a crowd. I just can't bring myself to woo! Gravity. Just gravity, that's just up. All right. Dancing. Like, people flail around in weird and awkward ways to sounds. Some mold is edible, no matter how stinky it is. All mold is edible, just some of them will hurt you more. Don't eat mold. Don't eat mold, please. That's not... don't eat mold. Birds having a built-in GPS system. They can fly south for the winter, then fly back to the exact same tree up north. You're not home. Your house is invaded. You have an automation system that lock them inside. Call the police and sound any song at max volume as an alarm. What song did you choose? Something sexy like Let's Get It On. Make them think what the f*** is about to happen while they wait for the police. The final countdown. Kids Bop over and over again. Just Kids Bop. That'll make them want to claw their way out of your home at that point. Some very, very chill classical and hope they don't wreck the place. The theme song to Jaws that increases in speed the closer the cops get. That's horrifying to think of. What's the most unattractive male name? Well, I swear, if Brandon's in here, it's over. I'm leaving. Darold. My grandpa's name was Penrod. Weirdly, I think I've met a Penrod before. I just saw this name today. Van Druff. Like 2 people actually agreed on that name for their child? My real name is Tuna. I might win this one. Egbert. Hey, that's my dentist. When I go, that is. What's a cool fact you think others should know? Humans' ability smell petrichor, smell of wet earth from rain, is greater than a shark's ability to smell blood in water. Weird. That the patent for the fire hydrant was lost in a fire. Now that's just some irony right there. The shell is part of the turtle's skeleton. Ew. I said ew because I don't like skeletons. There was a phantom poop on an Apollo mission. A poop floating around that none of the astronauts said was theirs. Alright, but somebody's just lying, unless an alien just came in, dropped a duke, and then left. When a person receives a kidney transplant, they don't take out the old kidneys. They just shove them to the side and leave them in there. I don't believe you. For some reason, I don't believe you. That seems ridiculous. What's the stupidest thing you've ever seen a religious person call satanic? My mom was terrified I'd accidentally summon a demon playing Yu-Gi-Oh! You're not gonna summon a demon, you're gonna summon Blue Eyes White Dragon! A microscope. An acquaintance of mine called a microscope a gift from the devil because it makes people question the divine plane. Dancing in general. Well, that's why you gotta cut loose. Footloose. 1. Coca Cola because the red supposedly represents the devil. 2. A deck of playing cards. Interesting on the second one. Decorative owls. Owl-themed home decor. I wouldn't say that's satanic, it is creepy because they're just like staring at you all the time. What villain can you just not hate? Tom from Tom and Jerry. I've always rooted for him. Lego Joker. I will say Lego Joker he's a fun version. Zach Galifianakis did it funny. Sandman. I don't know a lot about him other than from Spider-Man 3. He seems like a good guy. Robbie Rotten. Especially at this point in time, how can you hate Robbie Rotten? The Ice King. It's just a tragic backstory. He's just lonely and desperate for friends. What's a non-COVID reason that you like wearing a mask for? Talking with myself in the streets and laughing at my own jokes. Whenever I'm concentrating or working on a task, I tend to stick my tongue out or leave my mouth open, and I really like it when people don't see that. Covers my double chin. At least you're being honest. Allergies. And so I can ignore people. I haven't had a cold for nearly 2 years. It's been amazing. What parenting trend do you strongly disagree with? Posting videos of your autistic kid having a meltdown or just as a prop for likes? Ugh, despicable people, honestly. I don't know if this is a trend or not, but it's very common. Comparing your child to others. It doesn't matter if they're siblings, friends, etc. That fucks up with their self-esteem and turns everything into a competition. Overscheduling activities. When I was teaching, I remember my kindergartners telling me they had no time to play because every day consisted of non-stop structured sports, dance, and such. Let kids have time to be kids. Disciplining children based on what other parents are doing. What works for one kid won't work for others. Making your child terrified to fail. I gave up on so many things because I repeatedly got called an idiot if I wasn't instantly an expert. People who aren't celebrating or partying right now, what are you doing? Waiting for a ground crew to get me, and everyone else I guess, off this plane for the last half hour at the wrong airport. I'm 45 years old. I don't need to party every year, do I? Working, because these shelves won't fill themselves. Birthdays at midnight, 15 minutes away. In sober living. Watching deep sea animal shows. Hey, I mean, that still seems like a party to me. I'm hiding in the bathroom at work because a psych patient just covered himself in like lotion and came down the hall blessing us all, and I just can't. I needed 5 sane minutes to myself, and the bathroom is the only place to get it. What's something you shouldn't give to a homeless person? Canned food without pop tops or a can opener to go with it. Oh yeah, that is kind of just setting up for failure. Whatever they don't want. I was gonna buy a homeless dude a nice backpack once, but he didn't want it because chances he will get robbed for it or stolen. Ask them what they want. We had a homeless man who walked around in a garbage bag explain people kept giving him clothes and 3 times he had been attacked for them. If you're not sure what they need, ask. To be honest, this is gonna sound weird, but homemade food. It's better to give already packaged, ready-made food so that there isn't any doubt that the food has been tampered with. Stuff that they have to carry around. People who don't sleep naked, why? I'm very self-conscious, so I don't want somebody to walk in and see that on accident. Anytime I do, my kid will need me, or a pet is going to get into some chaos until I get out of bed. I don't want my dog to be nosing at my cooter or my tutor. Got kids. Underwear are to protect the world from my I don't want night ghosts to see me naked. Night ghosts? It makes me feel too vulnerable. Even though I'm totally safe, I just feel too exposed. What took you an embarrassing amount of time to figure out? When I was little, I thought everyone that had Down syndrome were just one big family. Oh, that is unfortunate. I was like 17 before I realized I didn't have to get in the shower and then turn on the water and get blasted with cold water. I can turn it on before I get in and just wait a second. The black market isn't an actual market. I was probably 20 or so when I realized that cold water in a home is not free. I grew up thinking somehow that you only had to pay for hot water. That I wasn't, in fact, the family member that best washes their dishes. Yes, I'm the youngest. When I was younger, I had no idea that New York and Newark are two different places. I kept thinking people saying Newark were trying to say New York, but had a speech impediment or accent, or just didn't know how to pronounce it. That the saying is nip it in the bud, not but. It's more fun to say but, so I'm gonna keep with that. You gotta blow a job interview as fast as you can. What do? Show up unwashed and disheveled and drinking from an open bottle. Piss on the fern in the reception area. Before we get started, you wanna go to the restroom with me? Say meow at the end of each sentence. Ooh, that'd just creep me out if I was the interviewer. Enter the room, caterpillar crawling in a blanket. I show up without an interpreter. How close are we to a school zone exactly? Alright, sir, you need to leave. What do you not own enough of? Bowls. Gotta rewash the same two when I eat my Cinnamon Toast Crunch. That is crucial Cinnamon Toast Crunch time that you are wasting by having to wash those bowls. Skills. I do well, but I'd like more skills and knowledge. Genuine friends. Oh, I'm sorry. Tupperware lids. Okay, for me I have too many because the rest of the Tupperware disappeared. I don't know where it went. Spoons. I think I might have less than the number of roommates I have. Time. Don't we all? Land. Yeah, unfortunately that's all, the government's just got that one on hold. What is a very old person name? Eustace. Muriel. Gertrude. I don't believe anybody's ever been named that. Mildred. I only remember that name from Dark Souls. She's a man-eater. That's a lame joke if you like Dark Souls. Alphabet. This name is so old it has a letter that no longer exists in the English alphabet. I'm not asking Elon Musk how to pronounce it. That man doesn't know, even though he used it for his son's name. Like, come on, dude. Mortimer. The last time I heard that name was in Shaman King, and that was like early 2000s, so Women of Reddit. What's something every girl should know but is rarely taught? Magnesium helps with period cramps when taken as a daily vitamin. Has saved my life on many occasions, LOL. It's okay to be rude if someone won't leave you alone. You don't owe anyone your time or energy. How to measure a bra. Do they really not teach that? They're just like, yeah, go try them, just try them on and see what works? That's stupid. How to change a tire. This seems like a good universal skill. How to negotiate a pay raise, higher salary, etc. Too many of us, girls and boys, are not taught how to advocate for ourselves and know our worth to employers. What's the reason you have been banned from an establishment such as a shop, bad, restaurant, cafe, etc.? Bad? I don't know what that means. Got banned from the mall when I was younger because I wore an inappropriate shirt that I bought in the mall. Was banned from a mall arcade when I was a kid for holding all the whack-a-moles down. My longtime barber had oozing pink eye and I merely told him I'd come back the next week. He told me not to come back at all. Like, my man, I get that you need to work, but if it's like Gushers, then you can't be there. Feeding the seagulls. We ruined the entire upper deck's dining experience with a few French fries. Dozens, maybe hundreds swarmed. It was like a scene from The Birds. People had to evacuate. I tried to pay my cover entry fee to a bar one time with $2 bills, and instead of taking my money, the bouncer told me to leave in a not super polite manner. What's the most private private thing you're willing to admit. I have a therapist in my head I regularly talk to. Where to start? The fact that my husband only stayed with me because I had cancer and he doesn't want to look like the bad guy for leaving while I fight for my life? Or the fact that I hope the cancer is back so he doesn't leave? Sometimes I go into the woods to scream. Not like to release stress, just to scream like a wild man. I envy people with functional families. Yeah, I almost shit myself on my first date while walking home with them because the food didn't agree with me. I barely made it to the toilet. I just want to leave my life behind and start over somewhere. Not telling my friends and family anything. Just leave. What's a childhood memory that almost all of us have? Not being allowed to turn the lights on in the car. It's illegal. You're not supposed to do it at night. When you're sleeping in the car and your dad makes that one turn when you arrive home, that wakes you up. It's like a sixth sense. It has to be. I feel like thunderstorms were a bigger and more frequent event when I was a kid. Accidentally snapping a ruler in half while testing how bendy is it? Hauling ass upstairs after turning the lights off so whatever the darkness has behind you doesn't eat you alive. I still do that, either trying to step on no cracks or on only cracks on the sidewalk. Really depends on how you feel that day about your mom. That dreaded feeling of forgetting your homework. Ugh, happened to me plenty of times. What quietly screams rich/wealthy? Not hesitating to eat in a restaurant with no prices on the menu. I cleaned huge houses for a living, and to me, it was the custom-built Lego rooms with cabinets, floored ceiling, full of organized Lego sets. Not knowing the price of everyday stuff, like groceries or electricity. If you use money to get time instead of time to get money. Suspicious amounts of free time to pursue their interests, travel, or just be out and about. What are examples where bigger is better isn't true? Texas? Bills. Oh yeah, absolutely. Blood pressure. The length of silence after you ask someone to marry you. Ooh, yeah, that's like a killer silence too. Leak in your roof. But just think about it like this. It's like a waterfall installment, but in your living room and onto the carpet. Kidney stones. I feel like there should be some kind of achievement. I mean, if you push out a bigger one, then you get in Ripley's Believe It or Not. What food is overrated? Those Instagrammable burgers, burritos, etc. that are all covered in melted cheese. Don't cover things with liquid cheese. Drink it, coward. I hate those. Like, once the cheese falls on whatever it is, you can't eat it. You have to get a fork and knife, and what's the point? The little packets in beef jerky that say do not eat. Honestly, they're just tempting you to take a big ol' bite of it. Those red berries on bushes in parks. Please don't eat random things you find outside. Gold flakes. It doesn't even taste good. Bacon flavored/infused anything. Don't get me wrong, I love a couple of rashers as much as the next man, but come on, bacon fat washed whiskey? Ugh. And just like that, we've come to the end of another fun installment of Ask EmKay. Once again, my name's been Brandon, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.